She thought he was just another clueless intern. She didn't know his last name could end her career. And she never realized the CEO was watching the whole time. The air inside Fairmont Creative Agency felt wrong. Not tense. Not heavy. Wrong, like the world had slipped half an inch off its axis. Employees stopped typing mid-sentence. Someone's coffee cup rattled on its saucer. The HR director stood frozen near the printer like she'd forgotten how her legs worked. At the center of the floor, the creative director, Dylan Vance, swallowed hard enough for everyone around him to hear. Because the CO, the rarely seen, heavily respected, quietly feared Mr. Nathaniel Cole, was standing there in a charcoal suit, eyes burning with a cold, controlled fury. He wasn't yelling. He didn't need to. "I want the name," he said, voice low enough that it felt worse than shouting. "The name of the person who publicly humiliated my son." A whisper rippled through the floor. His son? The intern? Which intern? Only one person wasn't asking questions. Madison Lee, senior account strategist, resident office influencer, career perfectionist and self-proclaimed corporate baddie, sat frozen in her glass-walled office. Her fingers dug into the sides of her ergonomic chair. Her stomach twisted into a knot so sharp it stole her breath. Her entire brain replayed the last 11 weeks like a cruel highlight reel. The sarcasm, the belittling, the meeting, the tweet. Every moment she had mocked the new intern, the quiet, soft-spoken kid with the shy smile and gentle eyes. Ethan Cole. Madison's lips parted, but no sound came out. Mr. Cole waited. The entire floor waited. And then, the story rewinds. The rain was the kind that made the city feel blurry. Gray sky, wet concrete, umbrellas bobbing like dark flowers. Inside Fairmont Creative Agency, the glass entrance doors fogged up each time someone walked through them. At 8:12 a.m., the new intern stood in the lobby, dripping lightly. His name was Ethan Cole, though no one there knew the weight of that last name. Not yet. He was 22 with soft curls that refused to stay put, a gray hoodie darkened by the rain, slim-fit jeans and scuffed black sneakers. He pushed his glasses up the bridge of his nose every few minutes, a nervous habit. He looked like any other Gen Z intern stepping into the corporate world, anxious, hopeful, painfully polite. "Hi," he told the receptionist with a small smile. "I'm starting today. Ethan." The receptionist, who had already been instructed to treat him like an ordinary intern, gave him a badge and pointed him toward the 6th floor. The elevator ride felt endless. Ethan checked the time twice. He rehearsed his greeting silently, mouthing the words the way an actor practices lines before an audition. "Hi, I'm Ethan. I'm excited to learn. I'm Ethan. Thank you for having me. I'm," the elevator chimed. He stepped into a world of bright lights, clacking keyboards, and people who barely glanced up. "Welcome to Fairmont. Coffee run first thing," someone muttered. "Another intern? Didn't we just have one quit? Hope he lasts longer than the last one." Ethan swallowed. He adjusted his backpack strap. And 10 seconds later, his life collided with Madison Lee's. Madison was a force of curated perfection. 29 years old. Skin like it had never seen stress. Ponytail sharp enough to cut glass. Designer heels that announced her presence like a royal drumline. She had an Instagram following of 102,000 people who devoured her corporate queen tips. Every morning she posted her outfit, her matcha latte, and a caption like, "Be the boss, they can't ignore nail polish sparkles." Madison walked like the office belonged to her. She turned the corner at full speed, and collided with Ethan. Her coffee exploded across her white blouse. The entire office fell silent. Madison froze, staring at the spreading stain. Ethan's face drained of color. I'm so sorry," he stammered, reaching into his backpack for tissues. "I didn't see." "Don't touch me," she snapped, stepping back like he carried a disease. "I can buy a new one," he offered weakly. "It's a $500 blouse," she said. "Do interns make that much?" Laughter trickled around them. Ethan lowered his eyes. Madison sighed dramatically. "Just, whatever. Watch where you're going." That was their first interaction. The first crack in the ground beneath her feet. She walked away, muttering loud enough for the nearby team to hear, "Great. Another clueless intern." Ethan watched her go, cheeks burning. He wished that was the end of it. It was only the beginning. Ethan learned quickly that Madison didn't dislike him. She didn't think about him enough for that. He was simply beneath her. Invisible when convenient. A target when bored. During his first team meeting, he introduced himself quietly. Madison didn't look up. When he shared his idea about expanding the brand's outreach through authentic social media collaboration, she smirked. "Ah, baby's first marketing idea. The room chuckled. Ethan blinked rapidly, willing away the sting. Later, she assigned him tasks that weren't in his role: washing dishes after lunch, cleaning out the supply closet, delivering files she could easily send via email, fetching her specific iced matcha from a cafe 3 blocks away. He did it all without complaint. Not because he lacked a spine. Because he was observing, learning, waiting. "I'll get better," he told himself. "Just push through." But each day Madison carved another slice out of him. 3 weeks in, Ethan's big moment arrived. A brainstorming session for a luxury brand campaign. Every major creative leader would be there. He prepared all night. He researched trends, studied audience data, watched consumer behavior breakdowns. He came with a notebook full of ideas. He sat at the long glass table, trying not to bounce his knee. Dylan Vance, the creative director, started the meeting with his usual booming voice. "All right, people, let's make magic. Any fresh angles?" Silence. Then Ethan raised his hand. He didn't expect to be called on. But Dylan shrugged and nodded. "Yeah, intern. Go ahead." Ethan inhaled shakily. "I think Gen Z is really craving authenticity. If the brand partnered with micro-influencers instead of celebrities, it would." Madison laughed. Loud, sharp, intentional. "Oh my God," she said, placing a hand on her chest dramatically. "Are we really going to entertain TikTok strategies from someone who probably doesn't even understand ROI?" Dylan smirked. Someone snickered. Someone whispered, "Yikes." Ethan froze mid-sentence. His throat tightened. I just thought." Madison waved a hand. "No, really, save it for your marketing class." Laughter followed. Ethan shut his notebook quietly. And didn't speak again. That night, Madison posted a tweet. "Today's intern tried to explain marketing to me. Kids these days." Within hours it had 800 likes. Ethan saw it. He said nothing. But something inside him shifted. It wasn't Ethan who filed the complaint. It was Lily, a junior designer who had watched Madison belittle people for 2 years. Lily had dreams of moving up, but Madison's influence kept her small. Seeing Ethan get shut down in the meeting hit something in Lily that had long been buried: a sense of fairness. She typed up a detailed, anonymous report to HR about Madison's pattern of public humiliation, hostile comments, abuse of authority, and creating a toxic environment. She hesitated for 5 seconds before hitting send. She didn't know that her report would be sent directly to the CEO's confidential review queue. Or that the name Ethan Cole would trigger something she never expected. Nathaniel Cole didn't run Fairmont from the inside. He was the kind of CEO who built the company, empowered smart people to run it, and stayed in the background. He hadn't visited the office floor in 2 years. But he checked his personal alert system every night. Flags for HR escalations, legal concerns, financial anomalies. The report came through at 11:48 p.m. He read it twice. Then 3 more times. His son had told him he wanted to intern anonymously. He wanted to earn respect on his own. Nathaniel agreed. But reading the details of how his son was treated? Nathaniel's jaw tightened. His son didn't grow up fragile. But disrespect, especially public humiliation, was something he wouldn't tolerate. He scheduled an unannounced visit. As the weeks passed, the rest of the team gradually began seeing Ethan's talent. He was sharp, creative, kind, exceptionally skilled with data analytics, and quick at grasping strategy. He rewrote a pitch deck that landed a medium-sized client. He fixed a campaign calendar that had been misaligned for months. He helped the social media team understand emerging trends. People started approaching him for insights. Except Madison. When she noticed the shift, she started pushing harder. She gave him impossible deadlines, criticized him for things he didn't control, forgot to invite him to meetings, told others not to spoil him with help. But Ethan handled everything calmly. Sometimes too calmly. Lily noticed. "You don't let anything get to you, do you?" she asked during lunch. Ethan smiled faintly. "I don't need to." "Why not?" He hesitated. "Because some problems correct themselves eventually." The day before the CEO arrived, small things hinted at the coming shift. HR sent Madison a request for immediate meeting email. She deleted it without replying. Dylan asked her why the intern was missing from the last 2 campaign discussions. She lied smoothly. "He's not ready." Lily overheard senior staff whispering that someone upstairs had inquired about workplace culture. The receptionist restocked visitor badges, just in case. And Ethan walked with a different posture. Straighter. More confident. Less afraid. Madison saw it but didn't understand it. The elevator dinged. Nathaniel Cole stepped out. People scrambled to stand straighter. Madison froze mid-email, her finger hovering over the trackpad. Never in her career had she seen him up close. His presence filled the floor, quiet power, calm authority, piercing focus. The kind of man who built an empire and never needed to brag. He scanned the room once. His gaze stopped on Ethan. Madison's heart dropped through the floor. Ethan stood slowly, pushing away from his desk. "Hey, Dad." Gasps erupted around them. Dylan choked on his coffee. Lily covered her mouth. Madison's vision blurred. But the worst part wasn't the reveal, it was what came after. Nathaniel stepped to his son's side. "I received a concerning report about harassment," he said. "Targeted bullying. Public humiliation." He looked directly at Madison. "Ethan, I need you to point out who treated you this way." The world turned silent. Ethan inhaled softly. Everyone waited. Madison's pulse hammered beneath her skin. Then Ethan shook his head. "She already knows." Those 3 words struck her harder than a shout. Nathaniel's jaw tightened. Madison felt her knees weaken. Her downfall had begun. HR arrived within minutes. Madison was escorted to a conference room where the following was laid out: her mistreatment of multiple interns over 2 years, witness statements, screenshots of her mocking tweets, details of the meeting where she publicly humiliated Ethan, proof she manipulated task assignments, accounts of her toxic behavior. Her senior strategist responsibilities were stripped. She was removed from all client-facing roles. Her upcoming promotion was cancelled. She was assigned mandatory behavioral training. Her social influence evaporated overnight. People stopped laughing at her jokes. Stopped seeking her validation. Stopped fearing her. The office queen had lost her crown. And she knew she did it to herself. A week later, Madison approached Ethan as he packed up for the day. Her voice trembled. "Why didn't you tell him everything? You could have destroyed me." Ethan zipped his backpack slowly. "I'm not interested in destroying people," he said softly. "Just in watching them show their true colors." Madison blinked back tears. He stepped closer, expression calm. "Treat the next intern better. No anger. No gloating. No victory lap. Just truth. The kind that hit deeper than revenge." Ethan walked away. Madison never mocked another intern again. Because she learned the most painful lesson of all: you never know who someone really is, or who is watching. Hit like, drop a comment, and subscribe for more chilling tales where silence breaks, truth wins, and karma never misses.